Hello, wonderful audience. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. Welcome aboard as we set sail on a journey through Hval. Hval, born 11 July 1980, is a Norwegian singer-songwriter, record producer, and novelist. She has released 8 solo albums, 2 under the alias Rockettothesky and 6 under her own name. In 2015, Hval released her 5th studio album, Hval, to widespread critical acclaim. The following year, she released Blood Bitch, a concept album influenced by vampires, menstruation and as horror films. Let's now turn our gaze towards music career and explore the fascinating connections it has to offer. Until 1999, Hval was the vocalist of a gothic metal band called Shelley's Raven. She studied at the University of Melbourne, Australia, specializing in creative writing and performance. While studying, she was vocalist in Australian bands The Panic and Folding for Air with Thomas McGowan, releasing an EP titled Are You Afraid of Heights? In 2004. Moving back to Norway, she released her debut EP Cigars in 2006. And was nominated for a Spellemannprisen, the Norwegian equivalent of Grammy Awards, in the Best Newcomer category. Adopting the name Rockettothesky, she was signed to Trust Me Records, releasing 2 studio albums To Sing You Apple Trees in 2006 and Medea in 2008. Following the release of Medea, she went back to using her birth name. Signing on the label Rune Gramophone, she released the albums Viscera 2011 and Innocence is Kinky 2013. In 2015, she released her 3rd album, Hval, on New York City's Sacred Bones Records. Her solo music has been described as avant-garde, art pop, and a kind of experimental folk music, among other terms. She has also collaborated with Hval as Nude on Sand, releasing a self-titled album in 2012, and with Susanna Wallamud, which resulted in the 2014 album Meshes of Voice released on Wallamud's Susanna label. She supported Street Vincent on a tour. In 2016, she released the album Blood Bitch, where she collaborates with Lars Mahor. The album was awarded the Hval Nordic Music Prize in 2017. The judges released a statement calling the album engrossing, atmospheric, challenging and thought-provoking. In 2018, she collaborated with Hval again under the name Lost Girls to release an EP entitled Feeling. The duo's name was inspired by the eponymous graphic novel. In September 2019, Hval released her 7th album, The Practice of Love, featuring guest vocals from Vivian Wang, formerly of the psych rock band The Observatory, Australian singer-songwriter Laura Jean, and French experimental musician Felicia Atkinson. Hval had intended a tour to promote the album, but cancelled the North American shows due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2021, Lost Girls released their first full-length LP, Menace Collectived. The album was received to universal acclaim, according to aggregate review website Metacritic. Classic Objects, her 8th album released in March 2022, also received universal critical acclaim. Let's now shift our focus to style and influences and explore the ways in which it shapes our perspective. Hval was influenced by the androgyny in pop music. In particular, she was inspired by the music video for Kate Bush's song Cloudbusting, which features Bush as a young boy. Hval has expressed her admiration for the English musician's ability to write from many different perspectives. In her master's thesis, The Singing Voice as Literature, Hval explored the sound poetry of Kate Bush's music, analyzing the lyrics and music together instead of as separate parts of a song. Hval's spoken word delivery has been compared to Laurie Anderson's music. Let's zoom in on novels and understand its implications. After studying literature and working as a freelance columnist and writer, Hval published her novel Per Labradorite Pearl Brewery in 2009. An English edition, titled Paradise Rot, a novel, was translated by Marjam Idris and published by Verso Books in October 2018. Her second work, In I Answered It Into the Face, was published in Norway in October 2012. Hval published her third novel, Hate God to Hate God, in 2018, which also received a translation into English by Marjam Idris and was published by Verso Books under the title Girls Against God in October 2020. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of studio albums. As Rockettothesky, as Hval, with Lost Girls, with Nude on Sand. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of IPS as we examine its impact and relevance. As Rockettothesky, with Lost Girls, as Hval. If you have any suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments section